Well, here we are on Friday. I'm sitting here with my stogie, as I advertised I would be yesterday on the award-winning Newsmaker Show. And who's sitting across from me right now but... That's right, the late Dr. Bob Heineman on the award-winning Newsmaker Show, blah, blah, blah. Stay tuned.
Next on News Talk, AM 1480 WLEA, the Newsmaker Show with Kevin Doran.
Okay, you know, Bob...
Kevin.
In my youth, I smoked 10... Are you ready for this, Bob? 10 Dutch Master Panatellas a day and inhaled them.
You did, in your youth. Kevin, could we just take
wait a minute.
20 or 25 minutes here and go over your health problems?
Oh, we couldn't fit it into 25 minutes.
So I assume you're cardiologist, of which you have two or three.
No, you see, you don't listen.
Recommending your cigar smoking.
You do not listen.
And it's probably very happy that you smoked 10 Panatellas and inhaled them when you were a kid.
Blow this right in your face, buddy. Listen, I have been explaining on the air for the last couple of days. You don't listen. That's why you don't know nothing.
I'm limited in a knowledge.
There you go. I admit that.
I mean, how far does a PhD go? Only so far.
Well, they know a little bit about or a lot about a little bit. You know what I'm saying, Bob?
I see.
But here's the thing.
Yes.
In my youth, when I was a disc jockey,
right,
we learned that if you smoked a stogie, a cigar, it gave you greater timbre and greater voice range.
It'll also give you more growths in your throat over a period of time.
Well, I understand that. I've read about General Grant. I know what happens.
Yes, indeed.
But
Grant
listen,
would be a good example.
Did you know his son got the same thing?
I don't know. Did he take a handful of cigars every morning and run around?
Kept them in his mouth all day. Same thing. Died of throat cancer.
Yes.
All right. But
well,
I'm not
folks,
doing
here
that.
We go.
I'm only
Kevin
smoking.
I'm a role model for the rest of the world.
I'm only smoking on Fridays to get my voice in shape for you.
On Fridays. But
I
really
wanted to say
that, Kevin, and I'm sure.
Would you stop interrupting me?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to turn your mic off. All right, there it goes. I used to smoke Dutch Master Panatellas. I sent out one of my trusty aides. Trusty aides said, get me a Panatella. He couldn't find them anywhere, so I'm smoking a Dutch Master President. Not as good as a Panatella, as I remember them, yeah. Now, that could be your Christmas present to me, Bob, a pack of, or a box, better still, of Dutch Master Panatellas. Can you do that?
Could you turn my mic on,
Well, you
Kevin?
kept interrupting me. I had to stop it.
Yes, well, I certainly was assessing the timbre of your voice with that smoke drifting through my lungs here.
It does help, Bob. That's why Limbaugh smokes them. What do you care about, Bob?
His mind has been affected. And do you see the recent studies now on marijuana and the effects upon your mind? And
I never smoked marijuana. That was the president, Bob, not...
Oh, but he
not
didn't
me.
inhale, yes.
Well, anyway, what do you want?
Kevin?
What do you care about?
Well, I care for about the Louise Slaughter Orsini race in Rochester.
You're
Mr.
one of
Orsini.
3 people around here that care. All right,
no,
go ahead.
I think not, and I don't care if I am.
All right.
The point is that he ran a tremendous race against Louise. He's a good friend.
But he lost.
He carried Allegheny County when he ran down here against Cool. And he was on your program several times.
Once.
And you were quite an admirer of him.
I did. I like the guy, yeah.
And it's really quite amazing the job he did. So I send out my...
he doesn't listen.
I send out my congratulations on a job well done. And
but he lost, right, Bob?
He came up 600 or 800 votes short out of 200,000
So
votes.
again,
But what's interesting about it, though, Kevin, is that's how the polls can affect your campaign. If the Republican campaign committee had any idea this race was going to be that close, they would have poured heavy money in. But he spent like $130,000, and Louise Slaughter spent over $1 million.
Where did he get $130,000, by the way? I know where Louise got it.
We kicked in here and there, and friends and such.
Wow. So,
but at any rate,
once again,
a job well done.
The congresswoman from Rochester, New York, is
coal miner's daughter,
going to be
from
speaking
Kentucky.
to be speaking like a rebel, probably like Mrs. Jefferson Davis spoke. I've never understood that.
I wouldn't doubt it. They're both Democrats. Yeah,
and she's a rebel.
Both of them opposed to Lincoln. I don't know if Louise opposes Lincoln or not.
Well, it's Louise. How old is Louise, Bob?
85.
So she'll be
87, 88 next time,
and maybe Orsini can take her then.
Well, I think he certainly established himself, I think, as a player in Monroe County. As you can imagine, in these metropolitan counties like this, you got all kinds of forces floating back and forth. So we'll see. But
That's
he's
true,
a very
Brother
good
Bob.
man.
Yeah, okay, good man. Let's get that out of the
Okay,
way.
please.
Now let's talk a little bit about the guy that's really in the news these days.
Yeah, who's that?
And I talked to Dr. Heineman this week about it. He knew nothing about it.
That's
nothing
correct.
about Jonathan Gruber.
Right, that's correct.
Do you know anything about Jonathan Gruber yet?
Not much, no.
Oh, come on, Bob.
And frankly, I'm not too interested in Jonathan Gruber.
Well, wait a minute now. It's important.
Why?
Because he admitted that the Obama administration lied to get Obamacare through, something I think any thinking person would have figured it out.
Yeah.
But he also said, I think to his great discredit, that the American voters are stupid. He kept using that word over and over again. They're really stupid. We can put anything over on them. This is a kind of a typical liberal view, isn't it, Bob? We know better. The liberals know better.
Something to that. Yeah, no, I think it is. And most people would argue that why that's an outrageous statement to make. But the point is that the liberals feel that they have the proper handle on social engineering, Kevin, for what's best for the rest of us.
Yep.
So the rest of us really aren't up to being able to handle our affairs in a proper and efficient manner. And it's, as I told my class the other day, in fact, if we were to eliminate Washington, D.C., which wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm with you.
You think America would go away?
No.
You might even prosper.
Might prosper. Yep.
Yeah, the idea that those guys somehow have a lock on...
There's a lot of dumb guys working in Washington, and Jonathan Gruber may be a PhD.
As I was telling
but he's not very bright.
Well, I think the idea that somehow they're far brighter than the rest of us, they're far greedier, and they're far better at political manipulation, I think, than the rest of the country. But being smarter, I think they fall a little short, Kevin, yes.
Well, Bob, his statement about the American voters being stupid, and we put one over on them, we, the Obama administration, that went over about as well as a pregnant poll voter, Bob.
Why do you think that would be, Kevin?
Pregnant poll voter? You didn't get that? Went over as well as a pregnant poll voter?
Well, I could give you some other examples that might not have gone as well over as, but we can't use them on the air.
Well, never mind.
So, anyway,
cement bubble, I've always liked that.
Right. So what do you want to do about it?
Well, you see, here, let me turn your mic down so I can explain. Let me explain this to you. No, I'm going to explain it to you, Bob. He was wrong. Of course, I've met guys from MIT. They are kind of conceited. Have you ever met any guys from MIT, Bob?
No, because I'm not smart enough to be able to.
There you go. They think they're smarter than everybody else, right? But here's the thing, Bob.
What is the thing, Kevin?
He was wrong. The American people caught on very early that Obamacare was a fraud. And it's still not popular, even after all the propaganda. And this guy only confirms what we already knew, that Obamacare was a hoax, an effort to bring the country down. How many times have I mentioned that Obama tries to bring the country down, Bob?
I'd say about as many times as you smoked Pantellas cigars in your youth, Kevin.
Oh, in my youth, yeah, okay, yeah. Panatellas, yeah.
For all the good they did you, and for all the good it does to say that Obamacare is a hoax. The fact is,
you're for Obamacare, aren't you?
I'm for universal health care, and the fact is that New York State has done a fairly good job of putting together a health care program. The idea, for example, that somehow we're going to repeal Obamacare, I think is a huge mistake if the Republicans think they're going to do that.
How about repairing it?
Yes, I think that'd be a great thing.
I mean, you can't take away what the people already have.
No, that's right. But here and there, I think by now we can see some real glitches in the system, and I think the Republicans are just the guys to roll up their sleeves and get in there. And
that's because you're a Republican. Yeah, I don't trust those guys either, Bob. But here's the thing about Obamacare. It's going to collapse on itself, Bob, and I'm making this prediction right now.
No.
The Supreme Court is going to say different things next time Obamacare gets up. A lot of it thanks to Jonathan Gruber, who admitted they lied and tried to put one over. Now, the Supreme Court, those are people too, Bob. They feel they're pretty smart too. They probably don't like to be called stupid. You know what I'm saying? You with me on this, Bob?
Yes, I can.
They're going too fast? All right.
Yeah, no, I think
so. The Supreme Court takes this up, I think, in June, and they could very well. Yeah, they could very well
take it up in June.
It's going to be argued before the Supreme Court in June. The legality of Obamacare.
You saw that somewhere?
Yes, Bob. You should read more.
The Supreme Court adjourns in June.
They're taking it up just before they leave, Bob.
So they won't issue a decision then, probably
till the fall. That's right. That's what those guys do. Yeah. And gals. There are gals in there, too.
What do you mean those guys do? They never do that. Their session begins the 1st of October, ends the end of May, first week in June.
Right.
So they don't sit during the summer at all. So I don't understand.
Think they talk, think they read, think they study.
Yeah, but they don't have much to do with each other, I guarantee you that. They're off to the four corners of the globe. So the idea that I think you better reread that.
Well, Bob, I'm going to do
Kevin,
that. All right.
Now that I've got you straightened out on this,
I don't think so, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
I'm done saying what I wanted to say.
In other words, you are for universal health care.
I am.
By the government.
Well, unless George Soros wants to finance it.
He probably would do a better job than the government.
Oh, he could.
Yeah.
I think I think Bill Gates could, whoever. But the point is that's not the way we're running it. So,
Bob, you realize they've closed all the doors?
Yeah. Are you?
Doogie. No,
that's all right. I'll survive.
Open the doors. Carol came in and closed all the doors. This poor man's suffering.
I can put in for workman's comp. Don't worry about it.
Not on my dime, buddy. All right. Now, what was the other thing you wanted to talk about? Oh, immigration. Yeah, talk about immigration.
Well, immigration, what do you want me to talk? You're the one who
You're
brought
probably
it up.
for that, too, aren't you? Let them come across the border.
No, I think his plan makes sense.
Whose
I
plan?
think the Republicans are nuts if they jump in there and try to oppose it.
Well, whose plan, Bob? Obama's?
So what I've seen of what he's planning to
what is he planning, Bob? Tell me.
Well, I don't know for sure, and nor does
you're
anyone
for it
else.
anyway. Huh?
No. I say what I've seen, Kevin, indicates what he's going to do, I think, is home in on the parents of children born in the United States, parents who are illegal immigrants. So, and that's going to be, you have a certain emotional thing there. But again, the way I read it, he's going to limit it to parents who've been in this country 10 or 15 years and working and haven't broken any laws. I don't see any problem there.
What do you think is going to happen at the border, Bob, once he makes that announcement?
I have no idea, Kevin.
Well, they're going to come across more and more.
They're not. No. First of all, you can beef up the border if you want.
Well, he's not going to do that.
Well, hold it. The Congress could certainly do that.
Got to wait a few months for that.
Well, yes, I don't think. But
let's suppose the Congress beefs up the border and he vetoes it. What are you going to do then?
Yeah, well, then you have a problem. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think we'll have to see how that works. I do think there's room for some negotiation here, but I think the Republicans would be crazy to oppose, and I think a lot of Republicans will support it, frankly.
They won't say anything.
Well, they're, as you know, they're divided on this issue anyway. Mm-hmm. The Bushes, for example, I think would be very supportive of it. So you got this guy Sessions from Alabama, who I heard the other night on Fox. Now that's all I need, some senator from Alabama telling me who I should help and who I shouldn't help and how we should keep.
You want a senator from New York to tell you that?
Well, I
want
feel
Chucky
a lot
Schumer?
more comfortable with
Chucky Schumer?
Well, I think Alabama has a little something to answer for, frankly.
Judge Sessions was? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, I hope not.
Not Judge Sessions.
I see.
He's a very good man, Bob. In fact, I know
he
a guy.
May be. I don't know, but I'm just saying. When you got somebody like that up there,
as opposed to Chucky Schumer.
Well, as opposed to Chucky Schumer or
how about the
Senator
guy
from
Vermont, the independent, the socialist?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't.
Bob, how do you keep your membership in the Republican Party? I don't understand it.
We're a large tent, Kevin.
Well, you must be on the very fringe of that tent, buddy.
Well, I get some raindrops once in a while.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy. Okay, what else you want to talk about? We got
I don't
Cassini
know,
out
Kevin.
of the way.
I'm afraid I've been depressing to you today.
What do you have? I know you're more liberal than most people think, but I've been shocked today to listen to you.
I see.
I guess I knew you were for Obamacare or something like it. I'm not.
Well, I don't think I've ever hidden my views on that.
No, you never
Kevin.
have.
I
I've
think,
tried to hide them from my listeners because I think they have a lot of respect for
well,
you.
because you're trying to control the media channels.
Right, yeah, control.
Yes.
What else,
So-
Bob? You got about 3 minutes here. You didn't know anything about Jonathan Gruber. You think that Chucky Schumer is more reliable than Judge Sessions?
No, I didn't say that at all.
Well, you
I'm
did.
just saying that I think the senators from Illinois and New York and Montana, when they want to talk about something like this, when you start picking on people because of their background
Or
and their
because of
race,
what state they're from.
yeah, I guess I'm doing that, yes.
So Sessions is responsible for slavery?
Hold it here.
Why does he
I
have to
think we've had
pay?
a little jump in
Why
luck.
does he have to pay for the
He
sins
doesn't have
of
to
his
pay for
predecessors?
anything. He doesn't have to pay for anything. He's free to get
Well,
up
he
and say
does in
whatever
your
he-
mind.
Yeah, I don't
You're
think
not
it
going to
does
listen to a guy from Alabama, but you would
That's
listen to.
correct. I don't
Dick
care if it's
Durbin.
Bear Bryant or now. I would listen to Condoleezza Rice. I'll give you that.
Because she's a Republican?
From Auburn. Yeah, undergraduate at Auburn.
Uh-huh. Born in the South?
I believe so. Yeah,
You bet she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there and don't let's.
Oh,
not
she's a
get carried-
conservative, Bob. Don't.
Well, I think Sessions is probably quite a bit more conservative than she is.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. So, in any case,
What's going to happen with the Republicans with Mitch Miller? You know, not
Mitch Miller? I don't know if you're going to.
Mitch had a goatee. I wish that McConnell would get a goatee.
No, that's a great idea.
It would cover up that very weak chin.
I think the thing to watch is the Democrats on the Senate side.
They're more liberal than they ever were. You know that, don't
Well,
you?
it could be. That's
Yeah.
probably true.
Yeah.
But the question is whether Chucky Schumer will make a move for the leadership position.
I hope he
when the
does. Oh,
Democrats-
Lord, I hope he does.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I haven't heard any rumors or any indications at all there. But he in the past he's made it very clear that he felt he should be the.
I think he
the
should,
leader.
too. I think we should have a guy like Chuck Schumer speaking for the Democrat Party.
Well, I'm casting neither here nor there, but I would think there'd be some jostling around right now among the Democrats.
How about the gal in the Pelosi? How about the gal in the House? They going to dump her?
Well, I think they'd like very much to dump her. Yeah, Steny Hoyer from Maryland, of course, ran against her. But the problem you have there is that she's got the Black Caucus, which is probably 40, 45 votes. And then she has another probably 30 or 35 votes from California. Mm-hmm. So that's that's almost half of the Democrats in the House of Representatives right now.
A decreasing group of people.
Yes, fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But you can try as much as you want. If she keeps that base together, it's going to be pretty hard to dump her.
Well, there we have it, fans.
With friends like you, I think the Democrats are in great shape, Kevin.
Nice talking to you, Heineman. Keep the faith. We'll talk to you next week.
I hope your voice sounds mellow
Well,
and
I
resonant.
tell you, it helped to have that stogie today, buddy.
All right, folks.